Now, there's a little connection with the guy that you brought with you today with that song, right?
Well, how would you say that connection is?
Actually,
It's
it was a connection. I don't know if y'all can hear it. Tell them about what the guy did that co-wrote that song with you. This is
well, Paul and I.
Paul Overstreet, by the way. We
yes.
didn't actually say that. Paul's great to have you with us. Great songwriter.
Well,
artist.
I was a big fan of Paul. I'm honored to bring Paul here, just because he doesn't know what he's been missing. And even more than that, he doesn't realize how many people love him and miss seeing him. And this is an incredible opportunity for people to see Paul Overstreet again. But I met Paul. We were writing songs, or we began writing songs because I was a big fan of his. And I introduced him to this buddy of mine, Johnny Barnett. And Johnny was a really funny character. He was not a normal country songwriter. He didn't have a country bone in his body. What he did for a living before this was he was Cheech and Chong's opening act for 7 years. Oh my God. So he wasn't actually the epitome of the sweet story song we wrote. But he was on the road with, and played a show with Paul, and just made their trip really special.
Well, Paul Overstreet has written a song or two.
Oh,
Yes, Paul's written a lot of great songs.
You mentioned being here when Randy Travis was here, and Randy, I think, was going to come
Yes, sir,
today,
he
and
was.
he had a fall or something.
Yeah, he fell just maybe 3 days ago and broke his arm and had to have surgery. And so right up, you don't know how much Randy still loves country music. He was liable to show up, on a gurney. He loves it that much, but he couldn't make it. So
Well, the day that he came and sat across here and you sat behind, all you had to do was look in his eyes and know how much he loves country music.
yeah.
Because you can still see it. It still lights up his face.
yeah.
And that was an amazing
And of course, Paul wrote, most of those Randy Travis hits.
I know he did. I bet we could twist his arm, get him come up here
Come
and
on up
sing
here,
a couple
Paul.
of them, couldn't we? Paul Overstreet. Paul, I hope you're not mad at me for my smart remark about Mississippi a while ago.
I heard it.
Because I know Paul happens to come from Mississippi. I was just kidding. I was teasing. Wouldn't
Paul
have
and
been
I,
a serious
Paul and I are
listener.
working through this together, Bill.
I'm sorry?
We're working through this together.
Oh, are you?
Slowly. Yeah, we're getting there.
We're kind of moral support back there at lunch.
How'd you get all of your songs to Randy Travis? How did y'all make that connection?
Gosh, that was, I had cut some tracks with James Stroud and Paul Worley to be an artist. And so we had on the other hand, Diggin Up Bones and some other ones recorded. And on the other hand was pitched for Dan Seals. And Kyle Lenning heard it, but he said, I don't hear that for Dan, but I hear it for this new artist I'm doing. And I was thinking, well, if we're going to do a new artist, we'd probably I'll do it on my record because I have my record deal close to being signed, but Randy already had his signed, so they were tracking. So one day I was kind of resistant to it because we didn't know who he was and we didn't know how important he was going to be to country music. But it's funny how God can reach out and touch you at the right moments, And of course, I was about $27,000 in debt to BMI from some advances, And I'm driving down the road and I'm thinking about it, and all of a sudden, I felt like a little Bible verse said, "It's more blessed to give than to receive." And I just thought, well, okay, they can have the song. And 5 million albums later, I was so glad that little Bible verse went through my head. Just stuff like that,
You know what was so crazy about that, though, to me was they put out that song. And then they put out 1982 that I sang the demo on from two boys I went to high school with. It was called 1962. And they changed it to 82. The first time that On the Other Hand came out, it stalled in the charts.
Yeah, it's
Then
just
they
about
put out-
70 or 67.
And then they put out 1982 was a hit. Then they put out On the Other Hand again, it was a smash.
Yeah, and it was crazy how that happened because as it was coming out of the charts, it only came out like one number a week, and it stayed up there. And Jim Ed had been on the road promoting a Hank Jr.'s album, and he came back talking to Nick the promotion guys at the record company. He said, what's happened to that Randy Travis record? And they said, well, we lost the record. And he goes, you lost it? He said, I've been promoting Hank Jr.'s album, and all they want to talk about is Randy Travis. And he's like, wow. So they went ahead and put out 1982, and it went on up into the top 10, I think. And then Nick Hunter told me, he said, you know, you never know how close these things are to not happening. He said, if you want to know the truth, I was carrying my little girl around in my arms, walking around the house trying to decide whether to re-release On the Other Hand or not. And I asked her, she's 3 years old, and she shook her head, yeah, you should put it out again. So they re-released it.
Wow. Awesome.
So anyway, that's how it all got started. And then after that, it was kind of a natural thing to just take the songs to Randy when we wrote them. And once he sang a song, it was really hard to get a song covered because once he sang it, it was sung. And it was a record, and it was a standard the way he did it. And all he wanted to be was country. At one point, I heard the story this from the record label that they told him his records, they said, your record's in the pop charts. He didn't realize that it has to sell a lot of units to actually get in the pop charts. But when they told him that, he said, well, get it out of there. He said, I don't want nobody thinking I'm pop. And like you would mistake that, right?
Yeah. Well, Randy Travis came along at a time that country music was going through a real downturn, and he kicked it back into high gear and started the move that started. He came along in '86, and then of course we had the class of '89 with Garth and Vince and all of them, and then the great years through the '90s with all of those guys. But he's the guy that got it started and did it with a Paul Overstreet song. Lay some of those Randy songs on us.
Okay, this first song, and there's so many. I'm attached to so many people in this room in so many different ways, distant and close. But this song, I was writing with a guy that. I'd been writing songs with a guy in Hendersonville, and I was dating a girl in Hendersonville at the time. I wasn't married yet at this point. I would just make that clear. You can always tell when a relationship is going bad and it's just not going to work, and you can feel it coming. And I just figured I'd kind of beat it to the punch. So I was there at her house on Thanksgiving, and the idea for this song came out of a crazy thing that happened because I was just ready to leave and ready to get out of there. I needed an excuse, so I called my buddy who lived right there, and I said, man, you feel like writing a song? He was married with 5 kids, and he said, it's Thanksgiving. I said, yeah, I know, but I got a great idea. He said, well, what's your idea? And I looked at the turkey carcass on the table, and I said, bones, something about bones. He goes, well, what does that mean? I said, well, we're songwriters. We got to figure it out. So anyway, he said, all right, if you think it's good enough, come on over. And so I went over to his house that day, and we started writing the song. We finished it up later, but we got a good start on it that day. And it goes like this. Last night I dug your picture out from my old dresser drawer, set it on the table, and I talked to it till 4. I read some old love letters right up till the break of dawn. Yeah, tonight I'm sitting alone and I'm digging up bones. And I went through the jewelry and I found our wedding rings. I put mine on my finger and I gave yours a fling. Across this lonely bedroom of a recent broken home. Yeah, tonight I'm sitting alone and I'm digging up bones. I'm digging up bones. I'm digging up bones. Exhuming things better left alone. did his 25th anniversary album, I'd written a new verse for the song, and it didn't make the album because I wrote it after the album was recorded. That makes sense, right? So anyway, when we sent the lyric over to Kyle Lenning for the 25th anniversary, it had 4 verses, and Kyle goes, I didn't know the song had 4 verses. And I said, yeah, I wrote it afterwards, and I kind of... So anyway, they cut it with John Anderson, came in and sang the new verse with him. So tonight I'm gonna sing the new verse for y'all, or today, whatever time it is. Well, I went into the kitchen just to get a bite to eat. I just kept on wishing I could taste your kisses sweet. I came out with a turkey leg that I've been gnawing on. Yeah, tonight I'm sitting alone and I'm digging up bones. Sing it with me. I'm digging up bones. I'm digging up bones. Exhuming things better left alone. I'm resurrecting memories of love that's dead and gone. Yeah, tonight I'm sitting alone and I'm digging up bones. Going up. I'm digging up bones. I'm digging up bones. Exhuming things better live alone. I'm resurrecting memories of their love that's dead and gone. Yeah, tonight I'm sitting alone and I'm digging up bones. Yeah, tonight I'm sitting alone. Like I said, once Randy sang a song, hard to cover it, but I always thought if I could have gotten this song to B.B. King, he might have sung it, and he'd have sung the new verse, and it might have been something like this. I'm digging up them bones. Lord, I've been digging up them bones. I said I went into the kitchen just to get a bite to eat. I just kept on wishing that I could taste your kisses sweet. Came out with a turkey leg that I've been gnawing on. Yeah, tonight I've been sitting alone, been digging up them bones. I'm digging up them bones. Digging up them bones. Exhuming things that's better left alone. I'm resurrecting all memories of their love that's dead and gone. Yeah, tonight I'm sitting alone, digging up bones. Said tonight I've been sitting alone. I said I've been digging up them. I said I've been digging up them. Heartbreaking, soul shaking, picking here at the country unbroken circle. TV tape and showbone. Yeah. All right. How about a hand for this band? They got memories like a steel trap.
I got to tell you a story about that song you've probably never heard. Stonewall mentioned Grant Turner a while ago. Grant Turner, of course, the legendary announcer at the Grand Ole Opry. When that song had first come out, and Randy was at the Opry on stage singing it, and I was over at the podium with Grant Turner. And Grant turned to me just as serious, and he said, you know, we called Hank Williams, talking about Hank Sr., of course, and we called Hank Williams Bones. And he said, every time I hear that song, I think somebody's out there digging up Hank Williams. Great song. Play something else on us.
What's on the, what? Oh. Well, it's like I said, I was attached to a lot of people in a lot of ways. This song, this guy called me and he said, I've got this, I saw this guy on TV tonight and he said something we got to write. But it was, the guy was married to this lady and then they got split up and they asked him, would he ever get remarried to her? And he goes, oh, no. It's going to take a whole lot of liquor for me to ever like her again. And so we wrote this song, went like this. Takes a whole lot of liquor to like her. That's why I drink all the time. Takes a whole lot of liquor to like her. But when I'm liquored up, I like her just fine. She wants to tell me where to go, tell me what to do, tell me what to eat and how loud I can chew. She even wants to tell me what thoughts I ought to think. It used to drive me crazy till it drove me to drink. It takes a whole lot of liquor to like her. That's why I drink all the time. Takes a whole lot of liquor to like her. But when I'm liquored up, I like her just fine. Well, she's such a pretty thing, you think she's heaven sent. But she's a quarrelsome kind, she likes an argument. She can scream all day, she can scream all night. I just sit there smiling, high as a kite. It takes a whole lot of liquor to like her. So I drink all the time. Takes a whole lot of liquor to like her. But when I'm liquored up, I like her just fine. This drinking buddy of mine, he married this girl. Now he thinks that she's the meanest woman in the world. I saw her pretty picture and I said, you're poking fun. Then the day I met her, I said, pour me one. It takes a whole lot of liquor to like her. So I drink all the time. Takes a whole lot of liquor to like her. But when I'm liquored up, I like her just fine. Well, you may look down your nose at me and think that I'm a sorry old SOB. But the only way I'm giving up my drinking glass, if I can find a better way to get her off my back. Takes a whole lot of liquor to like her, so I drink all the time. Takes a whole lot of liquor to like her, but when I'm liquored up, I like her just fine. Every time I get sober, Lord, she drives me right out of my mind. Takes a whole lot of liquor to like her, but when I'm liquored up, I like her just fine. Yeah, when I'm liquored up, I like her just fine. When I'm liquored up, I like her just fine.
Paul Overstreet.
I see a lot of shocked faces. in
We're
this room.
running really close on time, but just a little bit of Forever and Ever Amen. Get serious just a little bit before we have to take a break.
All right.
Another great song that Paul Overstreet wrote.
You may think that I'm talking foolish. You've heard that I'm wild and I'm free. And you may wonder how I can promise you now this love that I feel for you always will be. You're not just time that I'm killing. I'm no longer one of those guys. As sure as I live, this love that I give is gonna be yours until the day that I die. Oh, darling, I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, amen. You guys sing it. As long as old men sit and talk about the weather, as long as old men sit and talk about old men, if you wonder how I said, dang me, they ought to take a rope and hang me high from the highest tree. Woman, would you wait for me? Well, they say time takes its toll on everybody. It makes a young girl's brown hair turn gray. Well, honey, I don't care. I ain't in love with your hair. And if it all fell out, well, I love you anyway. And they say time can play tricks on a memory that make people forget things they knew. Well, it's easy to say it's been happening to me. I've already forgotten every woman but you. Oh, darling, I'm gonna love you forever, forever and ever, amen. As long as old men sit and talk about the weather, as long as old women sit and talk about old men. If you wonder how long I'll be faithful, well, just listen to how this song ends. Yeah, I'm gonna love you forever and ever, forever and ever, amen. Oh, baby, I'm gonna love you forever and ever, forever and ever, forever and ever, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you, guys.
Paul Overstreet, Country's Unbroken Circle. Amen.